Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Welcome to week 442 of Peter's weight loss journey, which is basically at this point Peter's maintenance journey. But welcome to another week of my weight loss journey. I have absolutely no idea what week this is. I think officially it's like week 37 or 38. But unofficially, with the missed weeks that I was on vacation and last week I didn't film a video, I think it's week like 40 or 41 or something like that. So anyway, how are you guys doing today? I did not film a weight loss update video last Thursday. I had already previously said that I wasn't going to because it was Halloween, and so I was going to take last Thursday off and not do a weight loss update video. But then, as many of you know, our little dog, Boo Radley, passed away earlier in the week. So, but I'd already planned to not do a video for the weight loss journey update last week. So here we are. It's been 2 weeks since I have been over here, and I will tell you that not a whole lot has changed. I weighed myself right before I got ready to do this video, and not a whole lot had changed. I have been weighing myself, I would say, on a pretty regular basis the last couple days, and I'll get to the reason why in just a second. You know, it's interesting because, well, my weight went up a little bit, and I'm kind of surprised about that because typically when I go through really tough times in my life, like grief, I usually I'm an emotional eater. And so I emotionally eat everything in sight and whatever. And I just really haven't done that this week. In fact, I think there's been like one day where I ordered food. Now, that's compared to in the past when I was ordering food several times a week. And even then, I really couldn't eat a lot of what I ordered. And so And I really thought that through, because even before I ordered it, I thought through ordering it, because I was like, you haven't really ordered food in very long. You've been eating very, very healthy. And I've been eating pretty healthy, but I've been pretty sedentary. Now, we're going to get to the walking and the exercise and stuff in just a second. I don't know that I really realized how sedentary I really was, you know? I really just kind of move around this house during the day. I film videos, and I, go from here to downstairs and then outside, and I talk to my neighbors and stuff like that. But it's really not a lot of like steps in a day. It honestly isn't. And so I realized, kind of looking at it one day, I was like, you gotta start upping things. You've got to get back into the exercise. You didn't get this personal trainer, you didn't get this nutritionist just to like let it just like blow away and just like forget all about it. Like, you intentionally, you started working with them so that you could make some real changes. So we're back on track, and well, I feel like I'm back on track, and I feel like this is kind of a new starting point for me. I don't know why. The 6 weeks leading up to Boo's passing was just a really, really difficult time in my life for me. I was pretty laser focused on taking care of him and, making sure that he was okay. And I was so worried about his health and things like that. And then after he passed away, I just am really, really struggling every single day. It's getting better each day. Today I'm doing okay. Yesterday I was doing okay. It's just, it's just really, really tough. And so one of the things that I knew that I wanted to start doing again was walking, and I talked about it on here that, during the time that he was sick, I just didn't feel like I could leave the house and even take a walk. And so after he passed away, I was like, okay, it's time. Like, now you don't have an excuse anymore. It's time to, return to getting back to the walking again. And so I did. So last week I started walking again, and pretty aggressively actually too, and I will say that, so my goal for walking is, I would like to walk a minimum of 4 days a week. I would ideally like to walk every single day. But a minimum of 4 days a week is kind of what I'm aiming for right now. And I would like that walk to be between an hour and a half and 2 hours. And the reason why I'm looking at an hour and a half and 2 hours is, number one, because that's about 10,000 steps for me. I've kind of tracked it over the last, couple times I've done that. And it's about 10,000 steps with also what I'm walking during the day. So number one, that's kind of my goal, is to get about 10,000 steps in a day. I would love to get a lot more than that, but that's kind of my goal right now. The second thing is that I, sometimes I'll sit on my front porch and listen to an audiobook, but I kind of struggle with that. And so I go in kind of in and out of where, like, I really enjoy just sitting there listening to an audiobook, and then there's like weeks that go by where I'm just like, I can't do it. I can't just sit here and listen to an audiobook. So when I'm walking, before, when I was walking, I was listening to a lot of music, but I've gotten back to listening to books again. And so, like, just this week, like last night, I like started and finished a book for our true crime book club. And then I finally finished the August book for Peter's book club. And so for me, selfishly, if I'm walking about an hour and a half to 2 hours a day, and I'm doing that several days a week, then that means I'm probably going to at least finish like 2 books a week. And since I love to listen to audiobooks, it's like really, it's a win-win for me. I'm getting my exercise in. But I'm also being able to, you know, get back into doing something that is really healthy for me, mental health wise, as far as listening to audiobooks. And it just helps me kind of escape and really, you know, get back to some of the things that I love. And so I did do that this week. I have been walking, I think, so I started last week. I love these little notebooks, okay? And so I was like, I'm going to start charting my walking. Now, I do have a workout journal, which has got probably an inch of dust on it right now. I really haven't used it much. This week is kind of my goal is to get back into the walking every day. Next week my goal is to continue with the walking and then add like 2 days of weight training into that. I talked to my personal trainer about this. And he thinks it's good to, like, you know, he was wanting me to push myself a little bit harder, but I was like, you know what, I don't want to, like, overcommit, because when I overcommit to things, I don't know about you, but when I overcommit to things and then I fall short, I just feel like a complete failure, and then I just am like, forget it, I'm not going to do it anymore, which is surprising that I have continued to get on here week after week after week and share basically my maintenance, like, which feels sometimes to me very much like a failure. It's crazy that I continue to get on here week after week. Incidentally, I gained weight this week, and I don't really feel like a huge failure. I don't. I feel very inspired this week. I feel very motivated, and I feel like, okay, I'm getting back on track. So I do have the workout journal, but last week, it's kind of weird how this all happened. So we were keeping a little book like this of the days of Boo Radley's medication. So we had to give Boo Radley medication 3 times a day. And so we had this little yellow Post-it notepad. It was like with lines on it. It looked like a legal pad. And so we had the times that we were giving him his medication on there, which was 6 a.m., 2 p.m., and 10 p.m. And so we would like check them off when we had given them to him. And then at the end of the day, if he had made it with like, we had made sure that we had gotten his medication, like, you know, every time, which every single day we did, and then he had gone seizure-free, we had it written down, like here, I'll show you, like the dates of the week, and then we would check it off, that we had, you know, that everything that day had gone really, really well. And so for us, it was just kind of like this charting thing, and I really enjoyed doing it, and I kind of got into the routine of like every day, like looking at how many days he had gone seizure-free and things like that. So I was sitting there, and that was actually one of the things, I know it sounds kind of bizarre, but it's one of the things that I kept after he passed away. I just kind of shuffled it into the drawer. There was something about it that kind of brought me some kind of comfort. And looking back kind of at that period, that seems very sad to me. And I know it's probably strange to people that they're like, well, that was something that you would save. And it did, like, I actually shared about this in my vlog. It was really hard for me with our other dogs as well, especially with Pee-Pee, to like get rid of the medicine. And with Boo Radley, it was the same thing. And I don't know, it's the connection of the routine of taking care of little Boo Radley and stuff like that. So one night I was sitting around and I was like, I think it was after I got back from my walk, and I was like, why don't you track your walking like you were tracking his medicine? And so I did. And so last week I started it, and this was on Friday that I started the notebook. And so I put Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, because my notebooks go from Monday through Sunday. That's very orderly, a little bit of OCD in there. And so I tracked it. And so last Friday night, I walked an hour and 16 minutes. I think that was like the first night that I actually like really walked. And then Saturday we were at our nephew's birthday party, so I didn't walk. And then Sunday I walked for an hour and 31 minutes. That was me getting back into, before when I was walking pretty regularly, I was walking about an hour and a half to hour and 45 minutes every day. Not every day, but when I was walking, I'd say 5 days a week, I was walking about an hour and a half to hour and 45 minutes. And so then this week, you can see, here's the chart so far. And Monday, I walked an hour and 23 minutes. Tuesday, it was pouring down rain outside, which means I'm going to get a walking pad so that when it rains, I can walk inside. So Tuesday, I didn't walk. And then last night, and I could have gone a lot farther if I didn't have to go to the bathroom. I could have gone a lot farther. But I actually walked 2 hours and 6 minutes. So I was very proud of myself last night. And I started and finished a book last night. It was a shorter book. But I felt, and I got back, and you know, when I get back from my walks, it's like, I always feel It reminds me of back in the day when I was working out pretty regularly and lifting weights and running and things like that. Whenever I get back from my walk, I always feel like just, filled up with endorphins, and I feel great, and I just feel very relaxed and calm. And some of you have said it, and I knew it, that it's really great for my mental health as well to walk and helping sleeping and things like that. So it really has helped with that. And so I'm glad that I got back into the walking. Now, I have this conversation on my vlog, but I'm going to share it over here as well. And I did actually reach out to my personal trainer, and he gave me some suggestions too, but all the suggestions that he gave me were very, very expensive, and so I'm not really there yet. When I decide to go with one of those, I will share it with you guys and let you guys know what I think about it. If you guys want me to let you know what he gave me 3 recommendations. If you guys want me to let you know what those recommendations are, I can tell you that in the next video. But anyway, I wanted something to track my steps. I've been using my phone to track my steps. I've just been going into the health app, and then I think I also have it hooked up to my FitnessPal, and so you can see my steps go like up and down and up and down. So yesterday, I actually walked 16,803 steps. Well, I don't always carry my phone around with me every single day, or throughout the entire day. I don't carry my phone with me. So I was like, I want something to track my steps. I think I said it in my vlog first. And then people recommended a lot of things to me. Apple Watches. I don't want an Apple Watch. I just want something to track my steps. I don't need all of that stuff. People were recommending to me the rings. I think they're called Aura rings or something like that. They're like $349. I looked them up. They're very cool. I mean, all of these things are very cool. I don't knock them, but they're not, unless I really get into this, I don't want to invest that kind of money into it yet. I literally just wanted something that would accurately count my steps when I'm not carrying my phone with me 24 hours a day. And so I looked at that. I looked at Fitbits. I looked at cheap Fitbits and expensive Fitbits and things like that. And I was like, okay, maybe that's something that because I was like, I just want kind of like a piece of jewelry, like a bracelet I can put on, or something like that. And so I looked at all that kind of stuff, and people gave me recommendations on the vlog, which was really, really nice. But if you guys want to see a more daily update of what I'm doing, I mean, it's not my whole vlog, but I do share every day over on my vlog kind of like what I'm doing. So I was like, I just want an old school pedometer. So I got on Amazon, and I bought this old school pedometer. The brand, I think it says Fit something on here. FitBud, 3D FitBud pedometer, and you can see it's at 0 because I haven't clicked it on yet for today. But I will tell you what's interesting about this is they are it's pretty close, even when I don't carry my phone every day. But like yesterday, what did I say my steps were? 16,800 and something. Hold on a second. 16,803. When I took this off last night, I think my steps were like 18,010 or something like that. So it was like only like the difference of like 1,020 or something like that. It wasn't really that great of a difference between this and the phone, which kind of surprised me in all honesty. I don't mind this. It's funny, I was showing it to my cousin Carol. So you just clip it on, or you can get a lanyard for it too. It comes with like a little lanyard thing. And then all you do is that, like, see it, all you do is you just reset it on the back. There's like this little button that you just reset it on. Hold on. Come on. There you go. And then it's reset back to 0. So, I was actually showing this to my cousin Caroline yesterday, and she was like, oh, my dad used to use those. He used to use those pedometers. And so I was like, and this is the other thing. So you can see it's like up to 12. Like, if you just kind of go like this with it, it like adds steps to it, which I'm sure your phone does too, but I don't know. But anyway, she was like, oh, I should get one of those. And I said, well, they're really cheap. Okay, so this one was $21.99, but they had them as cheap as like $9.99 on Amazon. So I got I got this, and then the notebook. There's something else that I wanted to share that I got too. Oh, the compression shorts. Well, the compression shorts are over there and I can't reach them. So I showed them on a haul on my Peter Does Stuff channel, and I've talked about them on my vlog as well. But I was, before when I was walking, I was really struggling with like chafing and stuff like that. And so I got these compression shorts. I don't even know what the brand is. I'm gonna have to look on Amazon because whenever I get them, like there's no sticker inside or anything like that that says the brand on them. But I really, really like them. They're like running shorts that have compression shorts like built into them. The problem was when I originally bought them, I bought extra larges, and the extra larges are okay. They're just kind of baggy on me, and the compression part is very loose. So I bought large ones, and the large ones are really good. I actually wore them, I think yesterday was I tried them on before, but like yesterday was the first day that I walked with them, and they were fine, but towards like the end of the walk, even they were a little bit loose. I was like, I can't believe that I could probably go to a medium on these. So I might like get a medium and see if they fit. They're like $35. I think I got 2 black pairs for they were $35.99 for 2 black pairs, and then I got a blue pair, something I think that was like $35.99 for. They're not that expensive, but they're not that inexpensive either. But I really swear by those. I will say, even walking 2 hours and 6 minutes last night, like I did start to chafe a little bit. I would say like the last 20 minutes, like I could, my thighs were burning a little bit. Well, you know, I mean, when you still have weight to lose, your thighs are going to rub together a little bit. They're going to burn, you know, it's going to hurt a little bit. But I'm so happy to be back on the walking and getting back into that again. I feel really inspired by that. You know, Alex every night will be like, my husband Alex will be like, are you going to take your walk tonight? And so, you know, he watches like some shows that he wants to watch by himself, and then I go take my walk, and I really, really enjoy it. It's interesting because I've been walking earlier, and so there's so many people that I pass that walk at the same time I do. And so the neighborhood that I live in, it's like we have like our neighborhood in here, and then there's like a neighborhood that surrounds us. And in that neighborhood, there's like streets that go up and down, up hills and things like that. So I can really get a pretty good workout in. Like to walk in my neighborhood, like I could do like an hour just in my neighborhood, going in and out of streets and out of streets. To go outside of the neighborhood, there's like 1,001, this is going to sound so cheesy, but there's like 1,001 different routes that I can take. And like every night I go like kind of a different way, but I always kind of pass the same people. We're always like, hey, how are you? You know, and I'll like pass them several times while I'm walking. So there must be other people that are walking like the same roads I mean, even like later at night, it's like people are still walking. And, you know, somebody said in my vlog, they were like, please don't walk at night. It's like really, really dangerous. All these streets are lit up. These are suburban streets. It's pretty safe in this neighborhood. So anyway, I'm really, really happy to be back on the walking. Now, like I said, I ordered food one time this week, and I ordered a salad and a 8-inch pizza, and I ate 2 pieces of the pizza, and I ate the salad, and it was a wedge salad with no bacon because I'm a vegetarian. So that was really the only bad thing that I ate. Even when we were over at my brother and sister-in-law's for my nephew's birthday last Saturday, I really didn't eat. I had like half of a piece of cake, and that was really kind of the only bad thing that I really ate. So I'm kind of surprised. I will say this. My water intake has probably tripled since the last time that I filmed a video, because when I get home, like I drink water throughout the day, but mostly coffee and stuff like that, mostly coffee. And so when I get home from my walks, I just fill up this huge like jug of water, and I just like chug probably, it's like 24 ounces of water like right away. And then I fill it up again, and like the next hour while I'm taking a shower and things like that and getting calmed down, I drink another one. So I don't know if right now what I'm seeing like the last couple days is water weight gain. But I don't really think so. In all honesty, I don't know what it is. I don't know. I have no idea. So anyway, maybe it's the getting back to the walking and stuff like that. But I did weigh myself. Let me get in here real quick. Now, the last time that I weighed myself, which was October 24th, I was 206.8 pounds. And today I weighed myself, and I was 207.4 pounds. So I'm 0.6 pounds up. Not huge. Not a huge amount, but it's more than I was last time. And like I said, I don't really understand it, because I'm being more active, and I'm really kind of eating exactly what I was eating before. It's not like I wasn't like binge eating, emotionally eating, or all those kinds of things. But you know what? I will say this, with the walking, I feel very inspired. I feel like anytime I eat, I really think about what I'm eating, and like, is this a choice you want to make? That's something that's really, really changed since the beginning of this journey, that I'm really thinking through my eating and my choices. Also, the timing of my eating, like I don't really typically ever eat past 9 o'clock at night. I will say that I've been getting better sleep in the last week, so that's, you know, one thing. I feel a little bit more rested than I have been before, so I feel like I'm back on track again, and this is probably one of the first times in a long time that I have felt back on track. There were, you know, when Boo Radley was sick and stuff like that, there were a lot of weeks that I was filming videos, and I just felt like, what's the point of even doing this weight loss journey anymore? I just felt like, I can't keep this up. I don't really care. I feel unmotivated. I'm not inspired. And I can't say that anymore. And I will say the number one thing that has really, really helped me get re-inspired, I think, is the walking, because I'm really enjoying the walking again, and so I'm really happy about that. So hopefully this is the beginning of going towards, now we're finally going to hit the goals. You know, I knew at some point it was going to kind of like plateau. Oh, we also have an appointment. I have an appointment with a nutritionist to go to the grocery store for the field trip. So I'm real excited about that. To pick out some like better foods. But like the stuff that I have in the refrigerator right now is like, I have a few of meals that, you know, like the prepared meals, and then cottage cheese, that good, what is it, Good Health cottage cheese or whatever. I have a lot of that from Fresh Time, and, you know, I haven't really been eating that horribly, and I haven't really been that hungry, so it's kind of surprising to me I kind of expected when I weighed myself, well, when I started weighing myself a couple days ago, I kind of expected that I would have lost like 3 or 4 pounds, honestly. Like, I feel thinner, and I hadn't really been eating that much. So it kind of surprised me when, I will tell you that when I got on the scale a couple days ago, I was heavier than I am today. So I was like, what's going on here? I'm confused, you know? But in looking at the steps and things like that, what I didn't really realize was how truly sedentary I am when my steps on a daily basis are between 2,000 and 3,000 steps, you know? And I think that it says something like the average goal should be like 10,000 steps a day for like a minimum goal, like is, you know, it's like my cousin Caroline was telling me that. I don't know how much truth there is to that. But anyway, I do feel more inspired and even excited. Like, I come home and I like, you know, I'm like, oh, Alex, I walked like 2 hours and 6 minutes. He's like, good for you. Did you have fun? I was like, yeah. So anyway, and keeping like track of this and all this kind of stuff, I don't know that I'll continue to use the Fitbit just because I'm going to try it for a couple days to see if there's much of a difference between that and my phone, but it doesn't really feel like there's much of a difference. So I don't know. And I will say that when I click it to my pocket, I'm worried that it's going to fall off, and when I click it to the top of my shorts, it kind of annoys me being there. So I don't know what we're going to do about all that. But if I keep on doing all this kind of stuff, I do think that I'll invest probably like in a Fitbit or one of those rings. My husband, one of his girlfriends has one of those rings, and people were telling me on the vlog, and he was telling me that she had told him that like it tracks like sleep patterns and all kinds of stuff, which I think is really cool. I'm just not there yet. I'm just not that invested in yet. Now, if I turn into being like this fitness, you know, maniac freak, then, you know, he's a maniac, then maybe I will invest in something like that. But, you know, usually on a video like this, when I've gained a little bit of weight, especially after 2 weeks, you know, that I'm not like down 6 pounds or something like that, that after 2 weeks, you know, I usually would be kind of like down on myself and, you know, feeling like lacking motivation. I mean, as I'm coming up on the year of doing this, I am kind of like questioning, like, are you going to continue to go forward with this, or are you just going to stop at 52 weeks, like when you're still at the same weight? I'm not going to stop. I'm doing this for me, you know? I mean, if there are people out there that think this is ridiculous, that's fine. There's enough of you out there that are supporting me. When I said something about, like, I think it was the last one that I did, and I called it something like my last weigh-in or whatever, because it was my last weigh-in for October or whatever, there were so many people that were so supportive and said, you know, like, oh my God, I was, like, so worried, and thank you for sharing authentically, and I'm struggling too, and you've got this, and, you know, people shared stories about how they had really struggled, and they met their, you know, their goals and whatever. I don't have any doubt that I'm going to meet my goals. And this week has been a really good week for me to realize I got to put my money where my mouth is, and I got to do the work, you know? And then if I'm doing the work, then I'm going to feel I'm going to feel re-inspired. So that's where we're at this week. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.